Hello everyone. Just going to wait a few more seconds while some more people enter the room today. Hi there, Greg. Okie dokie. Here we are. See a few more people joining. Hi, Kit. Hi, Alison. Brilliant. Okay, yeah, can see people joining now. Great stuff. All right. Well, hello everyone, and welcome to this panel session entitled "Selling Travel in 2021. What Now?" So I'm Abra Dunsby, Features Editor at TTG, and today I'm very pleased to be joined by Kelly Cooks, Leisure Director at Advantage Travel Centres Limited, and Colin Curry, Head of Trade Partnerships at Gold Medal. Hello, both.
Hello.
Hello. So in this session, hi both. In this session, we're going to be discussing booking trends, including which destinations are thriving and which are on the brink of bouncing back. We'll also be taking a look at how short haul breaks are selling in comparison to long haul. We'll be finding out more about emerging and shifting trends in regards to how consumers book travel. We will be offering advice for marketing and building consumer confidence, and we're also going to be including some product updates for agents to be aware of. So lots to discuss today. And during the discussion, if anyone watching has any questions for either Kelly or Colin, please do post them using the chat function, and I can ask our panelists for you. So yeah, please do ask away. And in the meantime, I have some questions for you both, if that's okay. So I'll fire away by asking first up how bookings are doing at the moment. Have you seen any sort of pickup since the government scrapped quarantine for vaccinated arrivals from amber list destinations? Colin, can I start with you on that one, please?
Yeah, sure, and it's definitely having effects. So we see an initial spike whenever there's an announcement made, and depending on what that is, then it's definitely driving in some business. We have found it seems to be that it's a spike and then it seems to plateau out a little bit, and it's definitely very shortly after that announcement's initially made.
Okay, interesting. Kelly, are you seeing similar things? Have you noticed a bit of a pickup since the announcement?
Yes, we have. I think similar to what Colin said, it's very much a late market at the moment. So we're seeing bookings in this kind of 3-week cycle where people want to book, depart and return in between those traffic light reviews. I think the other thing that is still hindering us massively at the moment is the varying different criteria for the destinations as well. So we're definitely making it easier for people returning into the UK, which is a step in the right direction. I think what we need now is this period of stability. So while that change is good, I think there's still a nervousness from consumers that could change at any moment. So we are seeing things steadily increase. The positivity is definitely growing out there, which is great to see. I think it's just a case now of we just need more of it and for it to last for a little bit longer.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, brilliant. Thank you both. And in terms of destinations, which short haul destinations are receiving the most inquiries and bookings right now? Colin, I know that's slightly less relevant to Gold Medal, perhaps, as you're more of a sort of long haul specialist, but can I ask you that question in any case?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's following that kind of that market. So obviously there was the influx into Portugal, and then obviously the backtrack on that. And to Kelly's point as well, I think it's stability is really the key word here. I think the problem is people are looking to get away instantly, and we found that as well. We had a period where everything was departing within the next month, and then the month after there was no departures at all. So it seems to be very much that kind of think that, in Portugal was one that we did see quite a hit for, but then obviously it backtracked again. So it's really stability is the problem.
Yeah, and that back and forth, isn't it? Okay, Kelly, how about you? What short haul destinations seem to be doing well right now?
So if I look at our data consistently, it's being dominated by Spain and Greece, absolutely. So if I look at last week in isolation, the Canaries were top of the list. I'm actually just back from Lanzarote, so can definitely give positive reviews. Really normal out there. Very much felt like that kind of normal travel experience, apart from the testing protocols. Aside from that, Greece is definitely driving sales for us. So Kos in particular, last week we saw a really, really good increase in sales. Balearic Islands, mainland Spain as well. We are still seeing other destinations come in as well, but I think people are very much going back to those kind of traditional favourite holiday destinations where they perhaps feel safe going to those. They might have been to them before. They feel like they understand the protocols in those destinations, and potentially even feel more comfortable that they're not going to shift around on the traffic light list when they're away. And I think, again, that goes back to that 3-week window. So I'm in no doubt that when the latest review happens next week, whether it's Wednesday at 10 o'clock in the evening or whatever it happens, straight away we'll start to see those bookings come in, because people are waiting for that latest update, making the booking and then travelling. And because of that, short haul is what they're booking, because it's just an easier thing to do within that 3-week window.
Yeah, that makes sense. Are there any destinations that you think are sort of on the brink of a rebound? Perhaps, I guess, depending on what the government says next in their next review. Colin, any insights there? Any predictions?
Well, I mean, the Indian Ocean is an obvious one that's been very steady throughout this, until obviously moving towards the red list. So that's one that we're all keen to get on for more immediate departures, because we've seen a huge amount of sales coming into it, but obviously all for 2022. So that's something that we're all keen to see come back sooner rather than later. Obviously, there's been rumours around America's opening back up again. But whether it's more than just rumours, we're yet to see. So I think that would be another great one for us, because again, it's been a huge selling, our top selling destination. But again, it's all for much later departures, just due to that confidence piece and people not quite having the confidence to book for the short term.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, brilliant. Thank you. And Kelly, what about you? What destinations do you think are going to be rebounding soon?
Definitely echo Colin's thoughts on the US. You know, there's demand there for it on both sides, actually. Everybody seems to want to get that corridor open. There was lots of rumours around Labour Day, but that is rapidly approaching and we've not had any news yet. We're also seeing an increase for the Caribbean, particularly kind of late this year and into next year. Asia up and down depending on where you look at. So Operation Sandbox is now live in Thailand, so that's had a little bit of an impact, but perhaps not as much as we would have liked to see. Funnily enough, we actually saw Australia and New Zealand start to come back a couple of weeks ago, but with the changes over there and the new lockdowns, that has completely stopped again now. So it's a really different answer depending on which week we look at, because things are still changing so rapidly. But I think destinations on the brink are clearly those where the vaccinations are going well and there's no variants of concern. So yeah, great to see Dubai get back on the amber list. That will help us for winter sales, and we had a strong week on Dubai last week. So yeah, I think it's just real mixed bag depending on what's happening at any one point. But I'm definitely seeing more long haul come through over the last 2 weeks versus the prior 2 weeks to that. So I think people's confidence for booking for this year for long haul is increasing. I mean, if I look at a month ago, long haul was all 2022 and further out. We weren't doing anything for this year, but it's starting to come back a little bit now.
Great stuff. That's really good to hear, and long may that continue. And then in terms of what kind of break people are booking when they are inquiring and booking, what is proving most popular? Is it sort of your fly and flop beach break? Are people wanting to go to the cities, or are they shying away from that? And what about touring? Colin, can I ask you that one first, please?
Yeah, I think from a touring point of view, we have found that very sort of slow in the uptake, and that's something that was a key part of our businesses before. So that's something I think is going to take a little bit more time to come back. However, we are finding a lot of it's driven by what's open, if I'm honest. So it depends where they feel confident going, what becomes on green and amber lists. For Kelly's point there, Dubai, since the changes, has come right back into the mix for shorter term departures in terms of when their departure months are. So September and December are actually key departure months for this 21 season for us. Just the trend that seems to have developed over the last week or two, and mainly into Dubai. So a lot of it's that, but on the flip side, what we have seen is durations increase. So we've seen people are spending more on their holidays. So we've seen average durations go from the Maldives from 7 nights to 10, from Dubai closer to 7 nights and beyond. And also just the level of money they're spending on holidays, and also that bucket list term has come in a lot recently. So I think a lot of people, having been in lockdown, not been able to travel, are now looking to really make the most of it, and they're looking to do something a bit different, or that kind of bucket list that they've always wanted to do.
That's great news. So yeah, when people are traveling, great that they want to go for longer and have more disposable income there. That's great. Kelly, are you seeing similar things, similar trends there in terms of sort of longer duration and also sort of beach breaks as opposed to touring, or seeing anything different there?
For this year, it's very much beach breaks and flying flop. We're not seeing really any city break business coming through. I think the testing cost are very off-putting if you're going for a short duration. So that's not coming through at all. Cruises definitely started to come back. So we've done really well with the staycations or the local UK cruises. That's gone really well for us. And it's starting to pick up for further out now as well. Touring is coming back, but it's all further out business. And we're definitely seeing the same trend in terms of people going for longer durations and spending more and booking those bucket list style trips. And we actually did a booking last week for 2024. So people do seem to have missed the ability to be able to travel to wherever they want to over the last couple of years, and perhaps are planning something bigger and better for next year. Lots of nice juicy bookings coming through for things like Florida, Galapagos, those kind of types of booking, and also multi-generational as well. So where people want to maybe go and book a really nice villa somewhere with the whole family, that's definitely coming through at the moment too.
Great stuff. And in terms of sort of traveller sentiment then, are you seeing confidence in those that are travelling at the moment? Are you getting any kind of feedback from those people that have been away? Are they quite keen to then go again? What's that message like, Colin?
Yeah, I've spoken to a lot of people who have travelled both within and out with the industry, and a lot of people say that you're hearing a lot more about, yes, it's worth doing, and I'm so glad I did it. And so I think it is. There's that fear factor, particularly because we haven't been anywhere for so long, that what felt normal before doesn't now. Added pressure being all the testing and things, protocols that you have to go through. But definitely, I think everyone I've spoken to has said that they're definitely glad they did, and would recommend that people do travel.
Mm-hmm. Are you seeing similar things, Kelly, from those that have gone away?
Very much so, and we've got our Hello Suitcase hashtag initiative that we started a couple of weeks ago, which is basically just asking people to share photos and videos of themselves overseas and what that experience is like. So that's gone really well, and it's been picked up by the consumer press as well and been used by some of them. But very similar, everybody that has travelled is coming back and reporting that it was worthwhile. So it's great to see those messages come back. And I think the more we can share that and show people what it's like, the more that will build confidence, which is ultimately what we need at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. And for those that aren't quite ready to travel again or sort of contemplating it, what advice do you have for agents then to sort of help restore that consumer confidence in those that are sort of thinking about it but are a bit nervous? Kelly, any thoughts on that one?
I think this is a really difficult one, because I think it's quite difficult to ask somebody to change their perspective if they might have a reason why they're more nervous, health reasons, impact of COVID personally. But I would still say it's really important to continue to engage with those customers, because the confidence will come back at some point. Or it might be that they're not willing to travel yet, but they do want that bucket list trip. So they do still want to see content, do a little bit of that armchair traveling. So I think actually it's probably more important than ever to continue to engage with those customers and almost go at their pace. And when they're ready to think about it and traveling again, you'll be the person that they'll want to talk to.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Colin, do you agree? Is it quite a long game in terms of sort of restoring that confidence, and how should agents go about it?
Yeah, I think very much so. I think the initiatives that Advantage are doing are fantastic in terms of spreading the word, because I think that's what helps. If they're hearing it not just from the travel agent but from other consumers who have travelled, then it's going to carry more weight to it. So I think things like that and getting that word out there that it's an easier experience than you first imagine is definitely key. I think the other thing is keeping a close eye on these traffic light systems, because if we get through another announcement where things either stay stagnant or go in the good direction, then that in turn will give a lot of confidence as well. I think what we need to avoid is going backwards in any shape or form, because that's where it drops off. So even at worst case, if nothing moves, at least that's where people think, right, we're steady now. And again, then it's trying to get involved and in touch with them again. And I think the other thing is very much what we've been doing a lot of focus on is not just price driven stuff. We have that, yes, which is great and drives sales, but it's trying to plant the seed and trying to give ideas and generate thought patterns on where you can go, where can you go when you get out of this, where can you go, so it's really trying to paint that picture of sowing the seed of places they can visit and what experiences they can get.
Brilliant, thank you. And on that sort of marketing theme, do you have any sort of further tips for building a successful marketing strategy and any sort of particular focuses that agents should have in terms of marketing? Colin, can I ask you that one first, please?
Yeah, I mean, I think for obvious reasons, the one that's been very successful over the last sort of year or so has been Facebook and social media. We've worked very closely with certain agents who have boosted posts and put adverts up on the likes of social medias and Facebooks, and had a really good return on investment and a really good return on interest. And they've been a mixture of those real price-led ones, which are very much, an amazing wow factor price and book it now, and a mixture really of trying to soft marketing behind the scenes of this kind of lots of videos, lots of features, lots of colourful kind of imagery that really paints that picture of what they can get when they get there.
Fantastic, great tip, thank you. Kelly, do you agree? Is it kind of a mixture of kind of offers and then some of that more soft selly inspirational stuff? Any further tips from you there?
Yeah, the same. I think it goes back to that kind of armchair travel piece again, keeping those travel dreams alive. I think, definitely focus on the two different areas, the retention of your customers, but also acquisition. So given the support that agents can currently offer to consumers, there's probably never been a better time for you to be able to acquire new customers. So make sure you're shouting about what you are doing and what's different and how you can support your customers. I also think when you're putting out those messages to customers, also focus on things like health and safety in the destinations, in the protocols, and then equally focus on flexibility. So, if things do change, make sure customers know that they can change things, and that will help them to commit now rather than waiting. And we've got lots of different initiatives going on to support that. So we're starting to bring back direct marketing, point of sale material, back into that real kind of sales push now ready. But equally, some of it will continue to be that soft messaging.
Brilliant, thanks so much. Just aware of time, we've only got a couple of minutes left, but Colin, I wanted to ask you briefly if there are any sort of product updates or developments from Gold Medal that you can sort of share with agents watching today.
Yeah, I mean, as many of the agents will be aware, we've taken this opportunity to really try and future-proof the business, and we're doing a huge piece of technology upgrade at the moment and producing a new website there. But the other thing is, brochures are going to be a different thing going forward. So we've got 3 brochure titles that we're launching this year. So we're going to have a pure luxury, a gold medal core brochure, and a cruise plus brochure. So the dynamics of brochures is also changing as well. They will be physical as well as online is the plan. And then, yeah, it's really just continuing with that 2-prong approach of showstopper offers as well as inspirational stuff behind the scenes.
Fantastic, thank you. And Kelly, what's Advantage doing to support agents at the moment, and anything else that you want to add there just before we sign off?
Well, I think we've got all of the marketing initiatives and the sales initiatives that we've talked about, but I think the other thing that's really key at the moment is what a big month September is for agents in terms of bringing people back from furlough and the end of that scheme, also renewals. So a lot of it is more operational assistance that we're giving at the moment. So HR support, financial support, that kind of guidance that agents need from a more kind of back office perspective, particularly over the next month. So our focus is a little bit more split at the moment.
Wonderful. Thank you both so much. Just looking at the time, I think it's time for us to close it there. So thank you so much to both Colin and Kelly for your insights and for joining us today, and to all of you agents for watching with us.